What up, guys? It's a Total Wars Master here doing another Napoleon Total War video. Today, I am here as Prussia, uncharacteristically, and also on this side of the field of the battle. So, let's really get into it. I'm a fairly normal comp: Lancers, Uhlans, Lancers, other side Lancers, plus Tau Crazy. General Staff, mostly Musketeers, a Foot Guard each side, and then flanking my Prussian Fusiliers on each flank. I have a Musketeer and Prussian Fusiliers in the center. My opponent has an army comprised of Voltigeurs and Militia at the front, Old Guard on one flank, Fusiliers, mostly Swiss, and then Old Guard. I have the cavalry advantage. From looking at it, I'd say he probably has the infantry advantage. But what I'm really going to try and use here is the fact that he only has just these 4 chasseurs of cheval and no lancers is incredibly good for me. Because if he had 6 lancers, say, my lancers in a 1v1, if I get in contact with his lancers will win every single time, unless like they're exhausted. So I have a pretty strange deployment here. I'm using a Musketeer to flank quite heavily. I've assembled my Prussian Fusiliers in the center. But what my goal is over here, more so, is to stop him from turning my flank. I can use my cavalry advantage in numbers to try and keep him more contained, and that's what my intent is going to be. We do see the use of militia as a meat shield here, although he has staked here, so his ability to push me actually on the center isn't very good. And now he's going to move up this militia. So what happens is these stakes now that we've given him a very good defensive position now quite aren't as good. One thing to be cautious of when you stake down is if you will be moving, especially if you're an aggressive player like me. Staking can be difficult to do because you always want to keep moving. But now he's going to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. I've fallen back. What this gap he's creating here is really good for my Lancer that's right here. Although I do have an infantry numbers advantage, although he has an Old Guard there, which really nullifies any advantage that might be gained. But without his ability to stake down now, his Voltigeurs' morale are suffering as this militia has broken. But also they will significantly lose a good portion of their ability to defend. And now I'm going to send in a Lancer. I have this cavalry advantage, might as well use it. If I can break more of the slight infantry, that's only to my advantage. He gets a volley off, kills a good portion of the Lancer unit, but I'm able to break that Voltigeur, which at least for the time will give me a huge advantage. He left this Voltigeur up there, which helps me. Really, he should be applying his advantages, especially on the other flank where this cavalry is no longer as strong. As I've said before, guys, it's localized advantage, it's winning in detail. He's going to move up this Fusilier, but I don't know if that's really the correct play. I have these men here, and I can easily divert and force it back, so it seems like it's not doing a whole lot. So I'm going to move my formation down, make sure the flank of my light infantry are protected. He's moving his men around. But a cav-to-cav fight, this might prove difficult for him, even though this chasseurs of cheval are very good. The problem being, if he doesn't get his volley off into the Lancers can win that fight. And especially because I have a Lancer over here, which can help me win the infantry fight down here. The Voltigeurs are hanging on, but they're definitely not winning. And we don't see a lot of aggression over here still. So let's go back over here. He's applying more pressure here, which I do believe is completely the correct decision. This militia has came back, but I'm hoping that the overshoot will kill them. He advances up his chasseurs or cheval. I get a nice volley off. I'm able to square. This really is a misplay by me. My formation does not allow for good lancer use right there. But this is to my advantage right here. I've got my volley off. Sir, he's going to return fire. Sir, my general's over here now. Attack. I'm able to crash into his old guard, killing a good amount. I am winning this light infantry fight pretty handedly. So quite frankly, I just need to hold on long enough to win this light infantry fight. Or get to a position where I'll be able to carry on through. I'm going to carry on my Brandenburg Uhlans into the old guard. But we can see his center is now crumbling from the pressure I'm providing, and he's not really using these men over here to the best of his advantage. Although I probably could push him with this and probably win there. The use of my general over here proved pretty good, at least for the time being. I'm able to get the old guard over here, doing pretty good damage, carry my lancers through time and time again.
Sir, your general has been
the loss
killed.
of the general is not good for me in the slightest, but I do have a pretty good advantage right now. I'm able to use my lights advantage now to the best of my ability. I'm going to be able to wheel around. These foot guards are basically just dead. Nothing to do about that. So we'll fast forward briefly, hoping to get a nice volley off, but hoping to not get trapped on myself. He does finally apply pressure over here, where he catches me out of square, sadly. He does get a good volley off on my Tau Crazies, although I'm able to countercharge, which does great damage in return. Really, the micro game over here for me was lacking. Sadly, my Tau Crazies break because chasseurs or cheval are chasseurs or cheval. His old guard right in here get pummeled, probably out of ammunition would be my guess. I should quite frankly be pulling these Fusiliers back. I have a lights advantage. I really need to use that to the best I can. Sir. I'm squaring these men because I really need to kill this cavalry. I don't think the chasseurs or cheval being sent in early like this was the correct play. But it does try to give his general a shot, but I was able to move my men around and get the general. Or at least to the point the general staff will not be able to meaningfully contribute anymore. I reform.
Our men are running, sir.
I'm able to kill his general at a pivotal time. That right there, that death was huge. These men really need to be out of square, which I'm trying to restructure this formation over here, but my morale is just collapsing without having an elite over there. I believe these Fusiliers are out of ammunition, if I recall correctly. So now it's a pretty tough fight for both sides. I have these men over here, these foot guards and musketeers. And I have this unit of 78. I do believe I am running very low on ammunition. my foot guards are able to come back.
One of our units has used all its ammunition, sir.
And I believe that's all ammunition used up. He has this old guard chasing this foot guard unit. I don't think that's correct at all. I mean, he wins that, but the losses are pretty high. And this old guard is really needed over there where most of his men actually are. He has a Voltigeur comeback. My primary goal right now is to win this over here. If I win this over here, I believe for the most part I can beat him over here. What's good for me is he doesn't know how much ammunition these men have. And they'll get a nice volley off into these Fusiliers. And they're able to break. This range advantage here is huge. I send these men into melee because they have ammunition. And over here, I do have a slight range advantage with this Fusilier, although they might be out of ammunition. I'm able to break these Fusiliers. Here comes these Fusiliers, and this is why I say the old guard over there was probably a misplay. Is they're very tired, and their morale impact over here could have been enough to change the tide of the battle, quite frankly. I mean, we'll never know if that's true, but I now move up my men over here. His Voltigeurs get a couple shots off. They shatter. And we see over here, if these Fusiliers have broken, I'm trying desperately to shatter the unit. I can't really afford for this unit to come back. And that happens, and now I can reform, and now I can actually kill these old guard because I enjoy that range advantage. He's going to have to push into me with me having the range. These men get shots off, and now we're able to get a route over here. And now it's just the old guard. What is good for me is once all these units that are broken get off the field, it should be near total morale shock for army losses for the old guard. Although they probably won't run because they're an elite, but their morale will be hit quite considerably. Not to mention half the unit being dead helps me a lot. But in general, we see this was a fairly close matchup. Pretty close game. With really my lights saving me in the end.
Glorious victory, sir, is soon to be yours.
The old guard being very tired is likewise pretty good for me. But I do want to start recapping a little bit, guys. We see why lights are very powerful in the in-game, although if you reserve them for the in-game, you probably will lose too. Lights are important through all steps of the battle. You really need them the entire time. Cavalry is huge. We see them break. And generals dying or living is incredibly huge. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. Put your opinions down below. Tell me what you think when we see these three Fusiliers. Foot Guard, Musketeer, and then Fusilier again. Probably cavalry near the bottom? Yeah. 0 kills and 95 losses. Crazy, but that's it, guys. Total Wars Master, out.